One game may not change a full season, but Tuesday night's win against the Giants was a massive step in the right direction for multiple players on this Phillies roster. We're going to get into all of that today on the newest episode of Phillies Digest. What went down on Tuesday night down in a windy, absurdly insane weather night down at Citizens Bank Park on Tuesday night. But before we get into that, I do want to remind you guys to please subscribe to our channel if you have not already. Just 35% of our viewers that are watching our videos have hit that subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button, throw a like on this video, and hit that little right next to the subscribe button, there's a little bell. That way you'll know every single time myself and Sean Bernard are uploading a video here on Phillies Digest. But last night was a crazy one down at Citizens Bank Park. Luckily, the Phillies got a big win with some big clutch hits from some guys that have been struggling recently. First one, really, Alec Bohm. A huge hit from Alec Bohm last night. I believe it was the 6th inning, something around that. But a big RBI single from Alec Bohm that had to feel really, really good last night. The dugout was loving it. Bohm was loving it. But I will say I did want to start off with this. I don't know if anybody was down at the stadium last night or if you're heading down tonight for the third game of this 4-game set versus the Giants. But that wind was probably the hardest wind I've ever seen in my entire life last night. I was up in the press box last night for Crossing Broad. Everyone's papers were going everywhere. The flagpole in center field were shaking. The rain was coming in sideways. It was absolutely bizarre. So if you were down there, let me hear about your experience because it was bizarre last night. I don't know how JT Realmuto's home run possibly got out. Obviously, it was about as close as it can to not getting out. But that wind was swirling in last night. Luckily, Harper's home run late in the game. I think the wind kind of shifted there a little bit later. But it was just a crazy atmosphere down at the stadium last night. But luckily, the Phillies did come out on top, and it was really a huge hit from Alec Bohm, along with obviously home runs once again from JT Realmuto and Bryce Harper. Another nice night from Jesus Luzardo. Didn't have his best stuff last night, but he still battled through 5 1/3 last night. But Alec Bohm and Brandon Marsh, those have been really the big names right now that everyone is incredibly frustrated with, and rightfully so. Brandon Marsh is now around 0 for his last 29. Alec Bohm's OPS is arguably one of the worst in baseball right now. But even though I do want to start off with Marsh, because I know Marsh didn't technically get a hit last night, but I thought his sac fly was really big for the mental side of things for him. Baseball is a grind, and to go through a slump like that, especially for a player like Brandon Marsh, and yes, Marsh isn't some crazy young player, but he's also not some really old veteran. He's sort of in the middle of the pack. I believe he's 27. This is a tough slump for Marsh, starting off a year that he was coming into hoping to continue to progress in his career and continue to get better. It's been a brutal start for Brandon Marsh, but he finally got an RBI last night on a sac fly. He hit the ball hard. He looked excited to finally help his team out again. And good for Marsh because the fans gave him a nice little standing ovation sort of thing as he was walking back to the dugout. To see that happen for Marsh had to be big last night because going through a slump like that, it's harder mentally than it is physically to go out and get a hit because Marsh doesn't want to let his teammates down. That's what he said on Monday to reporters. It's the hardest part about this is, consistently letting your team down and not being able to help these guys out. And last night, although he didn't have a hit, he definitely helped the team out last night with that sac fly. Alec Bohm as well. Bohm's single last night was just absolutely massive. He spoke after the game on, I believe, the post-game coverage to Tom McCarthy and Ruben Amaro Jr. This is from John Clark. He did quote it on Twitter here. And this was Alec Bohm after the game. He said it was big. Everybody knows, obviously, I haven't quite been up to par lately. But the only important at-bat is the next one. Alec Bohm on his big 2-out RBI hit tonight to give the Phillies the lead. Alec says he needs to keep that mindset of the next at-bat. He went on to say, it's hard to have, and I definitely don't have it as much as I should. It's tough out here. The game will beat you up and beat you down. You've just got to stay strong. Eventually, things will turn. And Alec Bohm is absolutely right because he started off his night last night with a fly ball and a ground into a double play to end the inning, which has been sort of the Alec Bohm special when he's making outs the last few years. He's unfortunately turned into a big ground ball guy. So I thought two things from Alec Bohm last night. Alec Bohm grounded into that double play to end the inning when the Phillies could have scored some runs. And I watched Alec Bohm go up, take his helmet off, get ready to do the Alec Bohm helmet slam, and he didn't do it. And I think Bohm is starting to reel back in a little bit, and I'm not saying his attitude's completely fixed. The world isn't like completely fixed here. It's not. I would still say he still has some, of those kind of attitude kind of things. But that was big for me last night. Seeing Bohm keep his composure after that, not slam the helmet into the ground. This has been his thing. He got benched in the playoffs last year basically for his attitude. So this is something that Bohm is obviously hoping to continue to work on. And last night, he could have just rolled over after that double play, continued in his slump, probably heard boos the rest of the night. But instead, he ripped an RBI single in, I believe, once again, the 6th inning to score. And, man, he was fired up. He was real fired up. Rob Thomson said after the game that it was really awesome to see how excited the dugout got for Bohm because these guys love each other. That's what Rob Thomson said after the game. His exact quote was, "These guys love each other." Obviously, these guys spend 7-8 months together. These guys are all extremely close friends. They don't like to see their friends and teammates go through these struggles and see their friends and teammates get booed by 40,000 people. So to see that for Bohm last night, that was really big for Alec Bohm. Those are two guys that really need to get back on track. And although they are not fully back, right? It's one game. And quite frankly, Marsh still doesn't even have a hit. He's still 0 since March 30th. But to see the confidence and to see the hard hit balls last night, that is a major step in the right direction for both Alec Bohm and Brandon Marsh. One more big step in the right direction here for me was Jordan Romano. Jordan Romano just pitched his 3rd straight scoreless outing last night. He was around 95 to 97 last night. That is massive for Jordan Romano. When his velocity is up, that slider is working really, really nice. And when that slider is working, he is an elite pitcher again. He's looked like an elite pitcher the last 3 outings. I think the time off helped. Rob spoke more about that last night. He thinks the time off sort of really helped Romano. And obviously the mechanical issues that they did fix was huge because the Phillies need Jordan Romano to be a valuable asset out of their bullpen. And it was off to a rough start, and everyone was ready to throw the towel in on Romano after 4 outings into his Phillies career. And I got on here and I said, please don't throw the white towel in yet, because at the time, they were 10 games into the regular season, 4 outings into his Phillies career. You have to give some guys time. Romano seems to have found it. Hopefully, Bohm and Marsh are going to follow in the footsteps. I'll be down there again tonight at Citizens Bank Park, 6:45 versus the Giants. Aaron Nola versus Robbie Ray tonight. Let me know your thoughts on the whole Bohm Marsh situation right now. What do you think of Jordan Romano? How about that win last night if you were down there? And whatever else you got on your mind about the Phillies. If you've made it this far in the video, I want to hear a score prediction for tonight's game. Robbie Ray, Aaron Nola, and who goes yard on the Phillies tonight? That's my question for you. Once again, this has been the newest episode of Phillies Digest. My name is Luke Arcaini, and I will see you guys next time.